return to Top Gun with only public domain music.
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes.
Contrary to popular belief, I do not mind being called wrong, and I'll be honest with you, I was very wrong here. Can I also make a proviso that I had seen this movie 2 weeks ago? Life's been on top of me. I haven't had time to do this video, but today I have found it. So yeah, this isn't new, and a lot of this stuff that I'm saying, I know that everyone has probably seen it. It's done very well for itself. So that's just a little side note there. I do know that most of you probably know all this, and it's been out for a while, but I just wanted to get my point across. I'll be honest with you, and everyone can stop fucking booing, I wasn't a huge fan, and a lot of my friends and people that I'm acquaintances with have said to me, you know, what? Are you insane?
That's insane.
But yes, I was never the biggest fan of the original 1986 Top Gun, of course starring Tom Cruise, Meg Ryan, Val Kilmer, blah blah blah. I was never the biggest fan of Top Gun. I used to make jokes about it all the time, and it was I've seen it 2 or 3 times, but never because I've wanted to. It's either been on or people have wanted to watch it, etc. Never blown me away, but you know, never a film I've really thought about. But I'll be honest here, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but my father-in-law really wanted to go and see it, and on a group chat chain I had drawn the short straw and I had to go. But I'll be very honest, and quite clearly by the title of this review, I'm very glad I had my arm twisted. Now again, this is not let's just reiterate, I didn't want to see this. I wasn't a huge fan of the original, and it was never really on my radar until my arm was twisted, and yet, god damn it, I can honestly say this for me is one of the best films so far this year. Screw it, it probably is the best film of the year, because the calibre hasn't been great so far, and this one left me leaving the cinema feeling something, which is quite a good thing, wouldn't you admit?
Help me! I'm feeling...
Now, to go to the dark side a little bit, you may not be the biggest fan of Tom Cruise or his religious views or his movies in general. You might not be a Tom Cruise fan. I could personally say that maybe 3 of his movies I've ever truly loved. If you're curious, they are his appearance in Tropic Thunder, The Last Samurai, and this. I don't personally... Oh, and Edge of Tomorrow. I wouldn't personally put Tom Cruise on a giant pedestal. I am not saying in any way that he is not a forefront of cinema. I'm not. I just haven't really taken the time to watch a lot of his stuff, and that's my bad. But regardless of the religious views or how you feel about him, you cannot take away from the hard work, the shots they managed to get for this movie. He was a producer on the movie, so that obviously had a lot to do with it. The work they put in, this is not just a sequel cash grab, which happens, I think, once in a generation, where they see a movie from 30 years ago. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they remake the fucking Goonies or something, because they want to capture the nostalgia of children from the, you know, that are now Josh Brolin's age, want to see Josh Brolin played by somebody else as his smaller character and have him cameo in it or something. You know what I mean? They will remake things because they want to capitalise on what you all like. That's what I thought they did with The Matrix, and that's a film from my generation. So this proves to me that you can do it right. You can make a sequel to a film from 30 something years ago and it still be awesome, because people were passionate about it, they were thoughtful about it, and they, you know, didn't want to make the cash grab. They wanted you to actually enjoy the film and not just go, That's 100 million in the bank. That's fine. This is a good sequel, and we should really grab that bull by the horns and enjoy it for that, because that doesn't happen in Hollywood very often. Personally, story-wise, and I've spoken to my father-in-law, you know, a little bit after the film finished, because he's a bigger fan of the original than me. The original film was more of a love story than this one. Do not think of this, okay, there's elements of it, but this film is very much about the action, about the jet fighters, about the camaraderie between, you know, Maverick, a little bit of Iceman, which we'll get to in a minute, Rooster, all these other guys that are now part of the crew. It is all about them, which is good. This is, you know, the first one's great, but it's not necessarily about the jet fighters. It is about the love story that Tom Cruise is in, but now he's not in that. He's old, and now, you know, it's all changed, and that's the best direction they could have gone in. And, you know, that brings me on to other things about the story. Those other parts of the story are like bringing in Jennifer Connelly as Penny. I love her anyway. Her and Paul Bettany are amazing. I love them both as a couple, as people. I also am watching Snowpiercer on Netflix. If you're not already, go and check it out. She's a great actor, and her and Tom Cruise together are great in this film. She's had to take over the role of Meg Ryan, and I'm really sorry, I'll put it down here, but I cannot remember the actress's main name of his love interest from the original film. I know that her and Meg were not asked to come back for various reasons. I know at least the main actress from the original has spoken about why, and she understands. But to bring in Jennifer Connelly, who is a very big hitter now in Hollywood, and I know she was then, but not nearly as much as she is now, it's great to bring her in. They have that love story, they have that connection that I was talking about in the story. We also knew about this for a long time, that my personal MVA, or most valuable actor, is Miles Teller, who plays Rooster, who is the son of Goose, which is what I think it was kind of always rumoured anyway for a very long time, that the son of Goose was going to be in this, because obviously Goose Goose dies in the original one if you haven't seen it, and even that kind of subverts expectations, that, you know, most people come in going, oh, you know, I'd show you that I can do this because my dad did it. It's nothing to do with that. The film's been out for a couple of weeks now. Rooster's only angry at Maverick because he wanted to be part of Top Gun, wanted to be in the training, and he didn't want him to, because he didn't want Rooster's family to lose somebody else. It wasn't about, you know, doing it for daddy. It was about doing it for himself. Maverick just trying to save them and help them from the loss, because he had to suffer Rooster, you know, he had to suffer Rooster's dad. He had to suffer Goose dying in his arms. He didn't want that for him, and it's very, I'd say, subtly mentioned. They mention it, you know, in depth later, but it's used quite cleverly. It's not just, you know, basic. They do think about it. As I said, my MVA is Miles Teller, who I love from Whiplash, and I hate him from Fantastic, but as an actor, he is great. He had to take on a lot, and he did it well, so I can't grumble at him. He had to do a lot with, because it's, I don't know if it's a very well known fact, but a fact is that in the filming of this, the cockpit scenes look a million times better than they did in the original Top Gun, because they had to go up there themselves as passengers in jet fighters and take the footage themselves. So Miles Teller and stuff had to do this work, and it shows, and Miles Teller seems to care. I follow him on Twitter. He tweets about Maverick all the time. It's really cool. Clearly passionate about it, more than he was for Fantastic anyway, playing a stretchy dude. He's a great actor. He really played this well, and to act alongside Tom Cruise and kind of put him in his place is great. He needs someone like that as a character to push against. I cannot complain. It's a great cast and was quite clearly thought out, and if Tom Cruise had anything to do with that, Top Gun's kind of his baby, so I kind of understand that. It's great. if I have to say that, if this isn't obvious, I'm just going to cut to the chase now. Do I recommend Top Gun Maverick?
Of course I fucking do.
It's a film that I went in going, ugh, and came out going, shit, yes, I want to watch the original, and when can I next go to the movie theatre and watch that again? You've got, you can't make that feeling up. So to have it, cherish it, because it doesn't happen very often. I'm going to cherish it. I want to go and watch the original again, and then when the other one comes out on Blu-ray, you're damn right I'm getting it, and I'm watching them both as a double all day. It's that good. Do I need to spell it out for you? Next. So yes, there you have it, guys. There is my very random ramblings all about Top Gun Maverick. If you have seen the movie, as I said, came out a couple of weeks ago, I'm just really slow. If you have seen it, then please let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. Is it better than the original for you? Do you like Tom Cruise? Do you think Maverick is as good as everybody's saying, or do you prefer the original? Are you amazed by how much money it's made so far? If you don't know already, it's like 500 million worldwide. It's ridiculous. So if you know any of those questions, or if you just want to tell me how good the movie is, please don't forget to tell me in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. I'm still floating around. My upload schedule is dog shit, but I'm still here, so tell everybody about me. Let's watch some more movies together. Hoping to get another movie review out this weekend, something a little different. Anyway, please don't forget to do all those things. Until next time, this is your friendly neighbourhood ginger guy saying, Ginge out.